The tactical genius of Mikhail Tal would be the first big reason for you to watch the video. Secondly, those of you that played the Caro-Kann for black, this is a video for incredibly important for those of you that do play the Caro-Kann so that you are aware of a little bit of a trap here. And I'm going to make it very clear for everybody. And thirdly, just for understanding how important is castle their king. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. In most of the cases, there could be exceptions always, but in most of the cases, important not to keep the king in the center because it's going to happen what's going to happen now, and you're going to see it together, guys, with me here again. So beautiful game. Mikhail Tal, the former world chess champion, 1960, 1961. Okay, so he was a genius in tactics and all. So e4, c6, already we know the Caro-Kann is going to happen here. d4 and d5. Fine. Knight to d2. Of course, you could play knight to c3 if you want. It's not a problem. You could play knight to c3. You could play knight to d2. Those both are very legit and theoretical moves. Taking back, and Eduard Meduna played knight b8 to d7. Of course, you could play bishop to f5 here, not a problem. Bishop to f5, attacking the knight, not like in the French when you're having the e6 and the bishop is blocked in. The bishop e5, I think it goes knight g3, bishop to g6. You could play bishop d3. We got all sorts of things here happening. So let's just go to knight to d7, knight to g5 being played here. And if you say, wait a minute, why did he move twice the same piece in the opening? So this is the trap, guys, here. This is the trap here. If you say, well, I'm going to play h6, and actually I'm going to force the knight away, this is something you've got to be aware of. If you do decide to play h6, not quite the end of the world all of a sudden, but you got to be aware the knight does not go back as you might want them to go. It'll go just simply on e6, targeting the queen. And if you tell me, yeah, well, can't I just take it? You kind of like cannot. Because once you take it, you're going to run into queen to h5, g6, queen takes g6, and just simply checkmate right then and there. So this is the trap you have to be aware as a Caro-Kann player. So you could do h6 if you want to, but be aware that knight e6 is going to happen, and you better move the queen away. You better move the queen away. Could be b6, could be a5. If it's a5, bishop d5, you're still going to have to go back on b6. Okay, so be aware of this little detail. Do not touch the knight because it's going to end up very quickly. So that's the reason h6 not being played here. He played knight to f6, not a problem. Bishop to d3. And now he played c5. Not the best move for black here. So again, for the Caro-Kann players, you want to look at the e6 that actually frees the bishop, and actually you one step closer for castling. So that's very important. e6, a bishop d6 ideas. Even e5, a bit more courageous, a bit more hitting in the center. Okay, e6, queen c7, queen b6, this kind of ideas are very good, but he didn't. Now he played c5, not the best response for black. So don't play c5 here with black. Absolutely not the right stuff you want to do. Knight to f3 simply wants to put the white king to safety, preparing all the tactics coming over to the black king. And black should do similarly, but instead he just go for the pawn. Here, instead of playing e6 and trying to get the space for the bishop to moving out and castling the black king, he goes with a queen to b6. And already, it's a bit too late. Now the advantage starts to showing up now. Very difficult for black after bishop c4 because Mikhail Tal simply goes for the f7. That's already an attacking happening right there. Of course, you might see e6 again, a bit too late. Rook f to e1. Look how he amounts all the power hitting along this file, and particularly the f7, which is in deep trouble. And even if black tried to stop it with bishop e7, it's already too late. So now it's too late. For black, it's too late. They had an opportunity to play e6 a couple of moves ago. They haven't. They played c5. They played just too late. And now knight to f7. This is just too late now. And if you say, well, can't I just take the knight? You kind of cannot. Because if you take the knight, it's going to be something like rook e6. Already, you've got a discovered check coming. And hitting the queen. Well, you don't want to give the queen for a rook or a bishop, do you? I mean, you don't want to do this, right? And if you tell, well, can't I just play queen to c? You kind of cannot. Again, it's something like rook c6, and this is already kind of game over. It's just game over now. This is it. So, obviously, he didn't touch the knight for this particular reasons. He played the queen, c7. Now Tal dictates the game. Takes on e6, clearing the light square diagonal. The knight attacks the bishop, drops back on c4. Tries to make that bishop go away. And now the genius tactician of Mikhail Tal comes into play, queen to d4. You say, yeah, but I just dropped the bishop on c4. Yes, you're attacking with tempo now. Bishop f4, connecting your rooks, very important. Connecting your rooks. The bishop here on e7 is locked, is actually pinned, absolutely, can't move. Queen is being hit currently. Queen goes on b6, desperately trying to. Knight takes the rook now, so you take back the material. Bishop develops, desperately trying to. And knight to g5. Look at how harmoniously and how aggressively play the knight on g5, attacking this guy like how many times? 1, 2 for now, but more attackers will be coming. Rook to d8 being played as a last attempt to try to stay alive. Now the engine gives you the queen to e3. Super big advantage here after queen e3. Practically nothing can be stopped from white to be winning the position. Billion of attacks on the bishop. If you move the bishop, it's queen e7, checkmate right on the spot here. So queen e3, the best move, but Tal played the move, not the best line of the engine, but still incredibly tactical advantageous. Queen to c5, queen sacrifice, second in exchange on c5 here. Queen takes, the best move. And now knight takes, hitting, took a material, took the bishop, attacking the queen, and attacking the rook. So more pieces will be coming down. And after queen b6 and bishop c7, Eduard Meduna resigned here right now because more material coming down, and there is no way you could keep playing this game. We might continue. So it's been resigned right at this spot. Queen to b2. Queen to b2, that would be the best move for black to playing here, saving the queen, that is. And now bishop takes, it's just too much material being lost by black here, so there's no point. Rook attacking, as you could see, and if bishop tries to save itself, we're running into check here. King can't move anywhere, and after rook b1, it's just simply game over. It's just nothing you could do here to stopping rook to b8, and it's just so bad. Game over here, guys. Okay, so again, in the Caro-Kann, just be aware if you're playing that h6 stuff. Be very, very, very aware. Don't do the c5 here. So you rather focus because the game is pretty much equal. You focus on rather playing e6 here. You want to push the bishop out and you want to castle normally, and you don't have any problem here. And if you ever decide to play h6 here, again, be aware after knight e6, do not take the knight. Do not touch this knight here, okay? Just go with the saving the queen. Just save the queen and keep playing the game here. Don't take the white knight with the f7 pawn. All right, guys. And, of course, try to castle that king. Don't leave the castle. The king in the middle uncastled. Okay, so the tactical genius of Mikhail Tal here, guys, in the Caro-Kann. Pay attention to these little details here. And go with e6, e5 when you have the opportunity, like right now here. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See you sooner than you think on more stuff. And I think today is the second round of the Tata Steel 2024. I'll aim to streaming that one shortly, guys. Thanks for watching. See you soon.